You guys have asked for more homeschool videos, and I just wanted to share. I just had like this epiphany, and I wanted to share it while it was fresh in my heart and mind. And so I have been thinking about a lot of different things lately, and when it comes to homeschool, and we've been doing a much more gentle, relaxed homeschool schedule. For Chloe, oh my gosh, one of the biggest blessings has been using the Syllabird app. So I have plugged all of her courses in, and then I've planned out like each lesson, and it didn't take as long as I thought it would. And I got some like beautiful coaching by Emily Brown around this idea of wanting other people to do what's hard for me, when rather than like feel the uncomfortableness while pushing through. That's not what this course is. That's not what this video is about. But I wanted to say that that was just a beautiful training, and so I did it. I actually planned, and it's been going really well. And Chloe, being 14, 8th grade, is able to log in to her Syllabird account and know exactly what she needs to do for the day. And it's just taken a lot of that decision fatigue away from me. But one thing I want to share is I think I've talked to you guys a little bit about Dr. Natasha Daniels, who is a child therapist. Now she does everything like online, and her specialty is anxiety and OCD. And her OCD stuff is amazing. I don't think either of my children are exhibiting OCD signs, but I think it's really important as a parent to be aware, especially if you have neurodivergence in your family. The anxiety, though, was definitely part of our life. My anxiety, my son's anxiety, and it circled around homeschool. And so it, like, for years it's circled around homeschool, and it's been a really big like trigger for me. Both of us have like anticipation anxiety around our homeschool day, and it's caused a lot of days of me wanting to just be like, I just want to unschool, I just don't want to do school, because like we're both so fearful of like entering into the lesson time. And so yesterday I got some guidance from Natasha, because she's offering right now a free you still have time to join. It's a free week about how to be your child's anchor, and all the videos will be available throughout the weekend if you want to jump in there and just like deep dive into how to like regulate yourself and be an anchor for your child, especially if they have like different struggles with their own anxiety or OCD or neurodivergence. And but I'm kind of rambling, but what happened was I started thinking about some of the things she suggested, which like were really gentle ways of allowing Neil to tell me if he needs a minute or if he needs a break based on what, because pretty much what happens is you ask, your child, like, what is the hardest part about whatever they're anxious about? And for Neil, he was saying things like, I don't feel free. I'll be overwhelmed. You're going to change things. And so she gave me like coaching on each of the specific things that he had mentioned. And one of them was something as simple as a way for him to tell me without telling me that he needs a minute. Like it was like a red light, green light kind of thing. And it's so interesting. I had this like visceral response of like, that's too nice. I'm like, where's that coming from? And I started thinking back to this worry and this desire. So I really want my children to reach their potential. That's like something that comes up for both my children when I journal about fear and things. I want them to reach their full potential, whatever that means. And I want them to have grit. And in my childhood, I had to do a lot of things that ended up creating some grit, a lot of fear, but some grit, right? Because you go through a challenge, you get through it. And I started thinking about how my role as a mother, yes, I'm educating my children, but really I'm bringing my children to the well, but I can't make them drink, right? I'm presenting them with a feast of ideas. I'm showing them their math lesson. I can't make them do math, but I'm showing them their math lesson. I'm encouraging them. I'm providing, consequences if necessary. But really, I can't make them read. I can't make them comprehend. I can't make them enjoy their lesson or want to learn about a certain subject. I can just bring them to the well. I cannot make them drink. And so I've had this idea. I've been homeschooling for 9 years now, and I've had this idea that I'm supposed to be the one to create challenges for my children. And I'm realizing that is not very feminine of me. If you look at Mother Mary is a quintessential wife and mother, right? She's making meals. She's creating a warm environment to live in. She's giving encouragement and joy and smiles and guidance. If you look at like the 9 days before Pentecost, she was there in the room with the apostles, guiding them, telling them things about what was to happen, preparing them, teaching them. But she was not creating the challenge like for Jesus. She was not creating the challenge for St. Joseph. And she was certainly not creating the challenge for the apostles. She was the one nurturing and being there to turn to, and that being that safe place. And so I'm just like, wow, I have really gotten a little bit messed up somewhere when it comes to my role with my children as their mother and their guide, philosopher, and friend. Which again, being a guide, philosopher, and friend has nothing to do with pushing, has nothing to do with grit. Now, maybe my husband's role is to create some challenge in their life, but it's not mine. And it's just like, I just had this epiphany and I just wanted to share because I'm like, wow, this is really fascinating. If I don't have to provide the challenge in my children's life, if I trust that God will provide challenges and that I'm just supposed to be this like warm, loving place, how different will my life be? Like, I can take some of the rocks that I put in my backpack that I'm supposed to be providing my children's challenge in life, and I can just like release those rocks because Jesus didn't hand me that. That's not a cross. That was something I gave myself from my own, really my own perceptions of what education should be, or my own thoughts about my own childhood and the fears for the future, and thinking that, you know, somehow that I was alone in this. And that's that ungodly self-reliance I'm going to talk about soon. But I wanted to put this out there for anyone who's homeschooling, because it just was a really, you know, especially if you like struggle with perfectionism or some kind of like, again, ungodly self-reliance, you don't have to do everything. And you know, you just get to love your children and bring them to the well and show them the things. And they have to do the work themselves, right? That's Charlotte Mason's always saying that. Like, the children are the only ones who can do the learning for themselves. So yes, like I need to be diligent in bringing them to the well and presenting the beautiful ideas, in creating time to read aloud to them and to talk to them. But that's kind of where it stops, you know? And like, I can do other things and I don't have to be the one to push and challenge and like in a harsh way, right? And like even make sure that they've done all the things, right? That's not really my role. And so I think again, we can always look to Mother Mary to really understand our role as mothers. And so I just wanted to share this thought with you, with anyone. Let me know in the comments, like if this resonates at all, if this kind of gives you like a like just like it's a weight off your shoulders, because it does me. Like I just took a rock out of my backpack. And if you don't know my reference, I will share it with you another time. But I think it was from Sterling J. Quith, and she talks about how Jesus gives us these crosses, but then we put up like we put these extra rocks in this backpack that Jesus did not tell us to load up. So you guys, Pax Christi, I hope you're having a beautiful Thursday, and I just really pray that that we can all get to a place where we live in the grace and the beauty and just the softness and the joy that was Mother Mary's life, even in her sorrow, even in her hard times, even in those places in her quiet heart where she knew she was going to have trials, because we all know we're going to have trials. But we don't need to add extra trials. And so if you're a homeschooling mama, I just want to say you're doing an amazing job. Remember that it's not the curriculum that controls you. You are using the curriculum as a tool. I had to remind myself that over and over again. And just know that I'm here. If you want to join the Facebook community, I would love to have you there. We talk about homeschooling. I do plan on talking about homeschooling as much as you guys want to. It's just a big part of, obviously, our lives as Catholic mothers who homeschool. And with that, Pax Christi. Bye, guys.